welcome to another episode of With Enough Prep Time. I am your host, the Nerd Man, of course, and of course I would have to start off with making a mistake during my intro. It's kind of my signature thing now. I wanted to give one shout out before I continue, and it's probably why I made the mistake in the first place, but I wanted to give a shout out to Diane Rigg, who passed away today, actress who was part of the original Avengers, the Avengers TV show, and I used to watch that show a lot. I used to like it. I can't remember much about it. I was a kid back then, but I know I did like it a lot. And so Diana Rigg did pass away. I heard that recently she was on Game of Thrones as well. But she died today, age 82, and she lived a long and fulfilling life. 82 isn't bad innings if you ask me. You could live longer, but you know, it's better than what happened to Mr. Bozeman, for instance. So she was wonderful, really, really great. Actress. So Dame Diane Rigg, or we on Earth salute you. Next topic that I want to discuss is the new the DC Fandom trailer 2, and of course Jason Momoa has come out to support our man Ray Fisher. Now, does this add credibility to Ray Fisher's claims? Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. Anyone who says that this does not add credibility, that Jason Momoa came out, even if it was just small support, saying "I stand by you," Ray Fisher, or tweeting out the "I stand by you" hashtag I stand by you, Ray Fisher, or I stand with you, Ray Fisher. The fact that he's done that it's quite big. To be fair, though, regarding some healthy skepticism, Ray Fisher and Jason Momoa have been the biggest proponents of the Snyder Cut. Those are the guys who have been down. They are as close to, devotees of Zack Snyder as can possibly be within the realms of DC. Mainly because they were hired by Zack Snyder, and I think of all the castings really that were hired by Zack Snyder, they're the ones that really are most likely that they really only would have been cast by Zack Snyder. You know, like people had looked at Cavill before. Cavill had somewhat of a career. You know, I suppose Gal Gadot could have a lot of her success. She can, lay at Zack Snyder's feet, but ultimately it was Patty Jenkins that really made Gal Gadot. You know, her whole career hinged on what Patty Jenkins did with her as opposed to what Zack Snyder did. So I think of all the people who really, really appreciate Zack Snyder, I think those two are really big-time supporters of him. It's also worth noting that Jason Momoa did seem to have, I don't know, maybe took a lot of drugs, but seemed to have hallucinated at one point that the Snyder Cut did exist. Of course, now we know that it was a rough cut that needed CGI and all sorts of things to be worked out on it. Yet when a interviewer came and talked to him about the Snyder Cut, he did make it out as if the Snyder Cut was finished, ready to go, ready to be released. I can even show you this moment. In 1, 2, 3.
You're always going to be indebted to Zack. Zack Snyder's your
Totally,
guy.
man.
He changed your life.
Totally.
So is that partially why when we spoke about a year ago, some fans are obsessed with the so-called Snyder Cut of Justice League, like an alternate cut.
Yeah.
Are you,
I'm obsessed with it too.
Are you?
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
That's just one thing that sucks with our business where you just can't speak your mind, but
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck yeah. I wanna see
Okay.
it.
Fair enough. And I brought up the Snyder Cut. You're like, yeah, I need to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. But I have seen it, so
I've seen
the Snyder Cut, so.
So what does that mean? Because the effects aren't done. Like you've seen his assemblage of footage and alternate takes, etc.
Oh, do you think Zach couldn't finish it? You don't think he?
I don't know. You tell me. He's finished. The
I mean,
work.
listen, man. Next question.
Do you think we'll ever see it? Do you think the public will ever see it at this point? Because it seems like it's actually the groundswell has grown. And a year ago, I would have had my doubts.
You know, I'm obviously indebted to Warner's and DC, and you know, I don't know how they feel about it, but I mean,
right.
As a fan, I'm very, very happy that I got to see it.
Does it feel like a totally different movie?
So, there you go. Basically an admission that the Snyder Cut does exist. I wanted to also add one thing while we're reacting to stuff. One thing that I came across, and then I'll give my feelings on everything. Now, many people will look at this and they will say, this is very sweet, and, you know, why would you mock this? But this gives me some insight into the depth of feeling that some people have for the Snyder Cut. And I can understand that. But it does give me a moment for pause at just how objective these people can be when it comes to what's been going on recently and the controversy. So in 1, 2, 3.
Shout out to the support, especially the support that you've given the Snyders for Autumn and for their family. I know they appreciate it beyond. Oh man, here we go. All right. Oh man. It means a lot. Man, y'all gotta give me a second.
And here we go. I mean, the thing about a fanboy is when you start getting fanboys in the industry,
we back.
this is where you get problems. This is a person who is,
the world. I know. To the
you know,
Snyders.
clearly emotional and moved by
Thank
the
you.
Snyder Cut being released. But
Ooh, you know, you already know. Come on, baby.
there you have it. I mean, one thing I'd always say about fanboys is a fanboy is, if you ever see a critique of a film that is in the comic book genre and it's all negative, then you're reading the critique of a fanboy. If you ever see a film that has all positive reviews, everything glowing positive review of the film, then you're reading the critique of a fanboy. You're reading the critique of somebody who has dispelled any ability to analyze and objectively look at the film they are watching, and who will die on the sword of everything that the person does or everything that is this person. There are a lot of Batman fanboys. Everything that is Batman is great. You know, Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Batman Ninja, Batman this. Every single thing that is Batman is given a few points extra that it actually deserves. So that when something really great of Batman comes out, like The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Returns, you know, one might, or you know, or Batman Year One, Batman Begins, Batman Returns. When these projects come out, you wonder yourself, you know, again, I think certain actors, which I'm going to do a video on, certain animated actors who have played Batman are a little bit overrated as well. So Batman in the DCEU has the biggest bunch of people who are blatantly Batman fanboys, before, so much so that almost anything that comes out that is Batman will be applauded by them. They are the people who went and supported Batman Forever. There are a lot of X-Men fanboys as well. Anything that comes out that is X-Men is fucking good. General audiences don't think so. Ticket sales to the X-Men don't think so. The X-Men was one of the most popular comic books and franchises. I think it could have been as big as Batman X-Men. X-Men should have been as big as Batman. It should have been way bigger than the Avengers. Way bigger than the Avengers. The X-Men. The X-Men animated show was one of the biggest, you know, TV shows. I'm sure if you looked at the ratings for the Batman animated show and the X-Men animated show, they were neck and neck. They were the two biggest titans of comics in the 90s before the movies arrived. And then when the movies arrived, the fanboys came out. They did a good job of Wolverine, a bad job of all the rest of the X-Men. So you alienated a bunch of other people who were X-Men fans. And essentially, the franchise kept on going until it took Fox under. Until it was one of those things that took Fox under. Because the fanboys kept going on. Yeah, it's the best this, it's the best that. Logan is the best R-rated movie. But the audiences aren't coming out to see it. So that means they don't believe that. But they do believe the Joker was a good one. Because the audiences came back to see that again and again. That's what people have to understand. If audiences are not coming back to see your films again and again, the audience have spoken. And that's what happened with Batman, with the Zack Snyder films. They may have even, Justice League, I may have even reached 1 billion, the Zack Snyder Justice League. But eventually you would have seen that people are not feeling that general audiences, there's a core group. And I wonder how big the Zack Snyder group really is. Well, there's a core group who love Zack Snyder and they cannot be objective. They can't say, for instance, that Man of Steel, I might have liked it, but there are good reasons, or the fact there are reasons that people don't like it. Maybe there's too much action. Maybe Superman isn't exactly what audiences expected. They can't accept any criticism at all of the Snyderverse. And it is in that particular, with that particular fanboy type of mentality that I think it is much easier to understand people feeling abused, as if being a Zack Snyder fan is some kind of religion, as if, Josh Whedon came into a set filled with Christians and started abusing Jesus and mocking the cross. They take it to that level. To offend Zack Snyder's work is something abusive that needs punishing. And that's my worry. I'm not saying that is the case, but that is my concern with Ray Fisher when I see him and how he responds and reacts to the Snyder Cut being released, tears, crying, that he's a big fanboy, loves Zack Snyder, wanted to be part, it's kind of like, can you really be objective about this, bro? Because you're a wonderful, wonderful actor. And perhaps some people who are looking after you need to be telling you you're a good actor, but you're going to end your ability to do what you love on a grand scale if you keep on doing this. And the fanboys of Snyder, they don't care about Ray Fisher, really. They're out here defending him, saying, I stand by Ray Fisher. But they don't really care about him. They care about him only insofar as he can get them closer to Zack Snyder being able to finish his Justice League trilogy movie, and maybe a Ben Affleck Batman and whatever they want out, and maybe their Man of Steel 2. That's all they care of Ray Fisher in regards to bring them back the dark Superman, to bring them back this dark world that they enjoyed. And I have no problem with having a darker, more realistic, more serious DCEU. But I don't think darker means humorless and you know, without paying some, you know, ensuring that there's some continuity between the characters that we know and love, and are beloved, and their personalities and their moral codes and all of these kind of things. Why can't we have a realistic, psychologically grounded world that is DC, that doesn't have to have jokes every 3 minutes, but also, you know, is respectful to the actual characters and their history and what they mean to people, what they've become symbols of. I don't understand why we can't have both, so that the Snyder fans and the other people can both be happy. I really don't understand. I've never understood why we couldn't get that. But in any case, it seems, as I said, that, you know, from this video clip, that of all the people who could have come out and supported Ray Fisher, Jason Momoa is the one I'm most suspicious of, unfortunately. Not completely suspicious, I believe he's a good man. But he signed up to do a movie produced by the very people that he's now denouncing. Why would he do that? The way he gave support to Ray Fisher was very veiled. It was something perhaps only for Ray Fisher to see. It was on Ray Fisher's birthday. One of the things I noted about Ray Fisher's birthday is none of the cast of the Justice League, none of the other cast of the Justice League tweeted him to say happy birthday. That's very telling. None of them. I wanted to look to see if any of them did that. And Jason Momoa, on his birthday, apart from Jason Momoa, no one said anything about his birthday. And Jason Momoa threw him a bone saying, I stand by Ray Fisher. But if you stood by Ray Fisher, why would you be doing a movie produced by the very two people that he's accusing of abusing him? I mean, abuse is serious. Abuse is real, you know, like, you abused me. So are you telling me, Jason Momoa, that if, let's say, for instance, it's a racist thing, and that Josh Whedon was consistently racist towards Ray Fisher, and Jeff Johns had condoned it the whole time? Are you telling me, Jason Momoa, that that's your boy, and you would do a Frosty the Snowman movie? Not a big opportunity movie, not like, oh, they want me in the next Matrix and it's Jeff Johns doing it and they want me to be the star, or they want me to be the star of the next action movie with, you know, The Rock. It's like an opportunity that I can hardly turn down. They want you to play Frosty the Snowman, and you took that role, Jason Momoa, even though you're supposedly friends with Ray Fisher, and these people have abused Ray Fisher. I don't understand. If Gal Gadot came out, or Henry Cavill came out I'm gonna be, not convinced, because it's still hashtag Jeff Johns is innocent until proven guilty, but at least there's some credibility to the story. But I will say, hats off, no taking anything back. This adds a lot of weight to Ray Fisher's story. The fact that Jason Momoa has come out and said this does add weight. There's no doubt about it. Anyone who tells you any differently or is trying to lie about it to themselves, they're lying about it to themselves. Because this adds weight. Jason Momoa coming out and saying, I stand by Ray Fisher, is big news. There's no doubt about it. It means at the very least, very least, he feels that the set was, like super uncomfortable, unprofessional. I don't know if he wants to cancel, he's going along with like, oh, I want to cancel these guys for what they've done, or if he's just saying, I support him, that this was a really horrible environment to have worked in.